of Six Sigma are define phase, measure phase, analyze phase, improve phase, and control phase. So, what is define phase? In define phase, we define the problem. Define phase contents. What is a problem? What is the extension of the problem? Project scope. What is a problem? This is a brief summary of the problem definition. For example, the dimension dia 4 plus or minus 1 mm is having CPK less than 1 and rejection around 5% in the process. What is the extension of the problem? This is the effect of the problem indicates. Example, because of the dimension dia 4 plus or minus 1 mm variation, there is a 20% rejection. So this is not 5%. Let us assume it is a 20% rejection. So let us not consider CPK. We say there is a 20% rejection because of the problem. Okay. Then arrives project scope. The scope of the project shall have the improvement on the extension of the problem. Example, the project is achieving yield to 95%. Achieving the dimension yield to 95% is a project scope. This project scope will be arrived from the extension of the problem. Then measure phase. In measure phase, we are going to see measurement and inspection, 7QC tools, data analysis, Pareto chart analysis, or any other quality control tools, CPCP analysis like spread, max, or minimum site, data collection, summary. What is a measurement? Measurement is the activity of quantifying the activity or things in numbers in order to have a statistically statistical conclusion. Statistical conclusion. So what is inspection? Inspection is the activity to ensure and account the activity is performed or not. So we just check whether it is done or not. Measurement is we're going to quantify. We say how much is okay and not okay. This much is undersize or oversize. That is measurement. So next is 7QC tools. The first is the 7 quality control tool is cause and effect diagram or fishbone diagram or Ishikawa diagram. The fishbone diagram identifies many possible causes for an effect or a problem. It can be used to structure a brainstorming session. It immediately sorts ideas into useful categories. When to use? When identifying possible causes for a problem. So this is a problem. We can identify the categories and list down possible causes, potential causes for the problem and verify and solve it. So example of a cause and effect diagram they have shown here. So there is a problem of blurry photo and what all the categories they are taken is hardware category, environment as a category, user as a category and method as a categories. So in hardware there can be a variation in the dirty lines or wrong lines in the environment subjected moving too fast, too dark area, then shaky hands by the user, not following instruction, wrong exposure, out of focus, wrong mode. So all these are not root causes, these are the potential causes. So each causes we are going to verify with the Gemba, that is in a workplace, and find out the root cause why blurry photo is coming. Next, control charts. Example of control chart. Dia 4 plus or minus 1 mm achieved with turning and below control chart can be used hourly to take the corrective action on the process. That means why control charts is you have to run your process in a controlled way. Okay, because continuously you're running the production, you don't know when parts comes overseas or undersize. So when you use control charts, we'll come to know how the trend is going before the part is getting rejected, after the problem is produced. Before that, we can solve it. We can take corrective action. So that we use for control charts. Next is Pareto diagram description. A Pareto chart is a bar graph. The lengths of the bars represent frequency or cost. This arranges in descending and uses 80-20 rule. 80% of total problem caused by only 20%. When to use? when analyzing data about the frequency of problems or causes in a process. So this is an example of Pareto chart. So they are arranged in a descending order. So button defect and pocket defect, these two defect alone is contributing. This 20% is contributing for the 80% of the problem. The problem is money, cost. In a 100 percentage cost, only these two problems are causing 80% of the cost. Pareto diagram example. Below scrap value in a Pareto chart 80-20 rule. So this is an defect and they are converted into value. And if you see for totally rust and dry surface is contributing 80% of the money for the scrap value. Conclusion: 20% of rust and dry surface scrap value, creating the 80% of total scrap value. Next, check sheet. Description: a check sheet is a structured, prepared form for collecting and analyzing data. This is a generic tool that can be adopted for a wide variety of purposes. When to use: when collecting data for hourly basis, shift wise, to correlate the output variation. Example. So this is very simple. So check sheet example, defect in a process over a period of time. So we can create different types of check sheet. So this is one of the example to collect the percentage defect based on the fixed sampling, how much the crack is varying each hour. So then we can write down total defects. Histogram. A histogram is the most commonly used graph to show frequency distribution. It looks very much like a bar chart, but there are important differences between them. When to use: when the data are numerical, when you want to see the shape of the data's distribution, especially when determining whether the output of a process distributed approximately normally. We can say whether a data is normal or not. It means whether it is forming a nice bell curve or not. When seeing whether a process change has occurred from one time period to another. So this is one of the example. Normal distribution is that the data is distributed uniformly from the process mean. This leads to a bell curve. Means process mean as highest frequency. See, this is the process mean example. This is having the highest frequency. And then from here there is a lesser variation, it is distributing. Okay. This is an example of histogram. So this we can say the data is somewhat normal because process mean is getting produced more than the other shifted data. Stratification, as we saw in the previous in the lean concept, in lean concept also with the stratification, we divide and check for the parameters of data in order to find out the root cause. Scatter diagram. Scatter diagram is nothing but the correlation that we see or that we have seen in the previous chapters. So there is a positive correlation, positive correlation, weak positive correlation, strong negative correlation, weak negative correlation, very very strong, moderate negative correlation, and no correlation or scattered correlation. Next is analyze phase. In analyze phase, uh, we use cause and effect diagram or fishbone diagram in order to find the root cause. And for each potential cause after doing the fishbone diagram, we do GEMBA. GEMBA means investigation in the workplace and verifying all the potential causes. We can do check method, check the input and output. We can do Tukey test, we can do YY analysis, and doing all this analysis we can find out which is the root cause in the analyze phase. So after investigation the potential cause and shop floor, we will end up in finding the root cause in the analyze phase. In this example, in machine B, the tool metal is HSS. In machine A, it is carbide. So they have found out for the dimension variation. In machine B, the metal is HSS they have used, and in machine A, they used carbide. In machine B, the spindle RPM is 2000, whereas in machine A is 2500. So these are the two observations they made after doing Gemba analysis. Then we'll prepare root cause analysis summary. Root cause analysis summary. These are the contents: tool material, spindle RPM, carbide 2500, HSS 2000. These are the two difference that they observed. Then after finding the root cause, we will go to the improve phase. In improve phase, we will improve it to the to improve it to the requirement. In the improve phase, from the root cause summary table, we will generate solutions. So this is a difference from machine A to B. What is the action? Trial in machine B with the carbide. So we are going to do trials in the machine B with the carbide and fix the carbide if it is coming okay. Then spindle RPM. Trials with machine B with the 2500 RPM. Machine B also will keep 2500 RPM and check whether we are getting okay or not. So in this, implementing these two actions will improve the process. Based on the type of root cause, we can change man we can change, method we can change, machine we can change, special tool we can change, special fixture change, load criteria inspection before starting of the process. So whether before doing a turning operation, how much should be my diameter? Example. So these are the optional changes that we can do to further improve the process. Then after improving, we'll make the project charter, complete the project charter. So in that case, CPK, it was 0.9, now it is 1.5. It hasn't been improved by the actions. Then present PPM is 50,000. Now it is only 8,000 has reduced. Previous yield is 80%, achieved is 95%. So what is the root cause of the problem? In machine B, spindle RPM was 2000. Corrective action is fixing the parameter for 2500 machine B. Preventive action. So this preventive action, what they're going to do, they're going to fix the parameters and no one can change it. So this we can present to the management. So after improving, after making the completing the project charter, then we can go for control phase. So the solutions that we have provided in the preventive action should be come under system. So this is a root cause. Corrective action we have taken, preventive action is also we have taken. This is a status, corrective and preventive action status. And we are going to fix the parameter, update the working section in control phase, and say that this is what should be followed in the production. Next, we are going to see CP/CPK analysis.